Ladies, please watch these men daily habits. I don't know how. It is so important to me. You need to watch if these men are drinking all the time, smoking on that hookah, all right, all the time. They not working out. They don't have any type of regimen. They don't make their bed, okay? They don't have a hygiene routine. Do not date a man that don't have a hygiene routine. If you go into his bathroom and he ain't got a toiletry bag for a beard oil, a face moisturizer, a lip balm, okay? If do not date those men. I'm telling you, you need somebody that really has structure in their life. And when you see somebody's bad habits like that is drinking and getting belligerently, we are too old for that. Control yourself. You can't even go out and have a good time. Those silent addiction is just so real. It's in people gambling. It's in people being on their phone all the time. It's even in the opposite way. People that have like extreme ways of being healthy. It's like now you're not eating beef. Now you intermittent fasting. Now you on some type of steroid. Now you working out like you have to really watch the men that you're dating daily habits, because that he's probably a silent alcoholic. Hey y'all, welcome back to Dear Tisia. We have a few reminders. Follow Dear Tisia podcast on Apple and Spotify. Leave us a 5-star review, not one, not two. 5 stars. Very good, class. Subscribe to Relationship Restored, and the Dear Tisia YouTube channel is under Tisia XVS. And then we need to get Dear Tisia up until 10K. I'm not gonna talk to y'all about it again. 10K, okay? We're almost there. Just if you're watching, click the button and subscribe. Now for our peanut gallery. This is my homegirl Juanita, y'all. Me and Juanita go way back. I know I like to tell y'all how I met my peanut gallery guests. Me and Juanita go way back. We both went to grad school together. UT Hook'em Horns, period. Okay. We went to grad school together, and I'll never forget when I was visiting, looking for jobs to move here to the DMV, probably like 10 years ago. Juanita was like, so my homegirl Angie, tell to see if she need a couch to sleep on. I'll never forget that. And we were rocking ever since. So anyways, kind of like the first person I knew that lived here when I moved. So anyways, one of my favorite Virgos too. Y'all know I love a Virgo. Love a Virgo. Okay, so we have our listener review. Love the show. This is from Lord Lee. Love the show. Started off watching your reels on Instagram. I like the podcast so much more. Ooh, because I was confused, y'all. I'm like, y'all want long form or short form? What do y'all want from me, okay? Um, I like the podcast so much more. You're so graceful in your responses, and you don't sugarcoat with what I appreciate about your content. Most about your content. You don't sugarcoat, which is what I appreciate most about your content. That was a typo. I can read. That was a typo. Okay. What's next? Okay, we have our voicemails. Our first Dear Tisia voicemails, and it's entitled "He Keeps Leaving, but I Keep Letting Him Back." Girl, we in the same boat. Let's talk about it.
Dear Tisia, I've been watching you for so long and I love your videos. They give such good advice and just the real talk that I need a lot of the time. And I have a feeling of what you're already going to say, but I would love to just have some clarity because I tend to get in my head about a lot of things. But I was seeing this guy for a year and a half and he would just constantly leave and come back and leave and come back. And at first it was like on fire, and it felt like as soon as I gave in and told him I had feelings, like 3 months later, of consistent talking and seeing each other, that it just started to go downhill. I actually ended up pregnant, and I unfortunately had a miscarriage a couple of months later, and he actually broke up with me after the miscarriage and got drunk and told me that I killed the baby and it was all my fault. And later on took him back, and he got drunk again and went out and texted his ex. And this kind of thing has just happened a lot. And now he's left again, and I almost feel myself caught up in this cycle. And I'm just trying to accept the fact that this is unhealthy, because even when I'm not asking questions or not bothering him, it seems to be an issue. And I just really beat myself up about it. And I just wonder what advice you have during those lonely me moments when I do beat myself up. But thank you so much for listening to this, and I hope to hear from you soon.
Okay, she gotta be from like Arkansas, like Alabama or something. Cutest little accent, ma'am. Cutest little accent. You know what I think is interesting? A lot of people say that when they break up with someone, that it's those lonely moments that they're struggling with. But you were lonely in a relationship. I never. This man. You count how many times she said he left and came back, left and came back. Left. You were lonely in a relationship, so I think it's more so a void that she's feeling. Um, the miscarriage and him getting drunk and then telling her that she killed the baby and then she let him back. Like this is something different than a man that just lacks clarity, lacks leadership, doesn't really know what he wants, even like a situationship. This is somebody that has terrible character, that seems to have bad habits, and that's getting drunk and telling you how he really feels, and he's along with all the other stuff that I just named, right? So I think the miscarriage, we have to have bottom lines as women, right? I'm talking about baseline bottom lines. I have seen the bottom line fall out the bottom for so many women. It's like you all don't have any type of, I almost wonder, like, what is it that you won't endure? And we call it like a deal breaker, right? But it's like, what is it that you won't endure? And I think everybody has to have those things. I always say, look, I knock on wood because, Lord, please don't. I know you got a sense of humor, but please don't make a fool out of me. If my husband come back with a child, baby, I'm gonna say you this: you and that kid get out, okay? I can't do it. I'm not gonna do it. That is my bottom line. Because now you just negligent and just crazy. If you are willing to risk our whole family by having some outside child, Lord, please don't make a fool out of me, okay? I can't do it. Everybody has to have their baseline. That could be abuse. It could be verbal abuse, cheating, financial abuse, all type of, like, everybody has to have their baseline. And I'm just like, girl, this man got drunk, told you that you killed the baby, got drunk again, call his ex. It's like, what is your baseline? There's so, like, what is it that is gonna take for you to really see what this man is doing? And I always say, a lot of times people can only see themselves as much as they have met themselves. And so you probably are a little out of touch with your own reality and your own traumas, which is why you're letting him bulldoze over you, and also why you are numb to all the things that he's doing, because this is kind of crazy behavior that he's displaying, and you seem to be like, girl, and he just keeps coming back and coming back. So it sounds like you probably have been through a lot and you've endured a lot, which has desensitized you to this type of, like, red flag and these type of senses that should be going up. But I mean, also too, it sounds like you've been more off with him than on, or equally as off and on in a year relationship. Like, what is it about this person that keeps drawing you back? And that is really what you need to figure out. This man is terrible for you. Let me watch myself. I think I'm glad you don't have a kid with him. Okay. I'm not glad that you lost your child, but I am glad that you do not have, look, gotta look out for you in ways that you just do not know. And I'm telling you, that man probably would have been hell and high water. You probably would have been a single mama. You probably would have been, girl, looking for him, trying to get child support. He probably been getting drunk. He probably actually does have a drinking problem. And I know that that's a difficult situation, but I'm telling you, so many times God will protect you. You ever seen those women where, and I think, look, one of them, we can't say their name out in public, one of them Kardashian child, look, trying and trying and trying and trying with that man and had them kids. Never got pregnant. As soon as you go off to the next man, your body will reject people. I'm telling you, your womb as a woman will reject people. I know friends that have been raw dogging it for years, never got pregnant, got with somebody else, moved on, got engaged, boom, they pregnant. Your body will reject people. And I'm telling you, that man was no good. Thank God you don't gotta deal with him for the rest of your life. And I pray that you never let him come back again. You gotta close that revolving door. And I think as women, we sometimes think that it's like they're addicted to us, like, oh, they can't let me go, he just keeps coming back. And one of my castmates, he always says, girl, he just kicking a tire, coming around to kick that tire, see if you still dumb again. These men want nothing with you. Them helicopter men that keep coming round and round and round, they want nothing with you. They lack clarity, and they actually are probably praying that you put up a boundary so that they don't have to keep walking over you again. That's just my two. What you think about this, girl?
It's a lot. First of all, he's trash. I
Period.
think that, like, focusing on him like he's evil, right? Like, that those things are cruel, right? Like,
Yes.
it's his goal to break her down.
Yes.
And it's like, why? I think when she say, like, oh, what do I do in the times when we're not together and I'm feeling lonely? You probably fantasized about what this man could be, and that's what you're in your lonely moments missing, but things you never actually experienced, right? Those things,
Limerence.
yeah, thank you. Those
Mm-hmm.
things that you hope for. And so I think, like, she has to come from a broken place too, to desire someone that is intentionally cruel,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, that just sounds so bad.
Mm-hmm. I was watching this reel, and there was this psychologist, and she kind of talked about like the casino slot machine theory, where like you like the slot machine is giving you just enough, right? And you
Mm-hmm.
know that you could hit the jackpot, but you put it in the money in there, and it's like you'll pull 3 times, you don't win nothing, and then you getting ready to get up, and then you pull that one time, it's like, oh, here go $50, here go $100, and then you get stuck in this cycle. Like, if you keep pulling on it, eventually you're gonna hit the jackpot. And she was using that to describe how the women keep going back and waiting around, hoping that that like jackpot is gonna come, and then the person will starve you out for them 3 4 pulls of the slot machine, and then when you about to leave, up, okay, here go $50, here go, you won a little bit. And it's this cycle, right? It's this cycle that you get stuck in because you still think that the jackpot is coming, but you have to know that it's not. It's not. That is just a cycle that you're in, and these men know, they're addicted to it. I think we have to really
Mm-hmm.
get inside the psyche of men. The men that come back over and over and over again, it's a dopamine hit that they get to know that you're gonna accept them back again, and they just gonna play around and come back, and they need that. You got a sick mind, you sick in the head, child, you need that type of manipulation, and also just that validation that you're not getting elsewhere, because those type of men are actually very insecure. And so we call it in narcissist world the supply. When you get that supply from that person that you know is going to keep feeding you and keep stroking your ego and keep making you feel bigger than life, you're going to keep cycling back to that person. So for all the women that's out there, please know that it's not that he just can't stay away from you and you're irresistible and you're the love of his life.
Mm-hmm.
No, he's using you to get to drain you of just the energy that he needs to go out and be the insecure man that he is. And the insecure men find women that are vibrating low and insecure so that they can get the little bit that they got, and then now you're depleted and he got just enough to keep running you into the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Arkansas, Miss Alabama, leave that man alone. Please leave him alone. And I pray that you really find what is going on with you that keeps drawing you to that. It could be family, your childhood, parents, like feeling invisible, not feeling seen, heard, abuse as a child. Like, what is it that's drawing
Yeah.
this person back to you, that you are like chasing chaos? Because that is just bad for business, bad for business. Also, the last thing I'm gonna say about this, ladies, please watch these men daily habits. I don't know how, it is so important to me. You need to watch if these men are drinking all the time, smoking on that hookah, all right, all the time. They not working out. They don't have any type of regimen. They don't make their bed, okay? They don't have a hygiene routine. Do not date a man that don't have a hygiene routine. If you go into his bathroom and he ain't got a toiletry bag for a beard oil, a face moisturizer, a lip balm, okay? If do not date those men. I'm telling you, you need somebody that really has structure in their life. And when you see somebody's bad habits like that, that is drinking and getting belligerently, we are too old for that. Control yourself. You can't even go out and have a good time. Those silent addiction is just so real. It's in people gambling, it's in people being on their phone all the time. It's even in the opposite way. People that have like extreme ways of being healthy. It's like now you're not eating beef, now you intermittent fasting, now you on some type of steroid, now you working out every, like you have to really watch some people's, the men that you're dating, daily habits, because that he's probably a silent alcoholic.
Yeah, he has problems, but I want to tell her like you did not kill your baby,
Oh
right? And
yes,
like
yes, yes, yes.
you it is a phenomena that they're still studying. But the body knows, like Tasia said, your spirit knows. And
Absolutely.
you probably need to take some time to heal because you were postpartum and probably didn't even acknowledge that,
Mm-hmm.
and to kind of
Yeah,
mourn
yeah. Thank you for bringing it back around because that was so evil.
for
That was
real.
so evil. And imagine what kind of father he would have been.
Mm, hmm.
Oh, God bless you. Girl, stay away from him. Close the doors, lock them, deadbolt them. Voicemail number 2, Dear Tisia. Why can't I connect with people my age?
Dear Tisia, I'm 26 and I'm still trying to like build relationships around my age. I recently met this group of people this summer and it's been going pretty well. Obviously, the relationships is pretty fresh, but I just want to know, like, they say that if everybody say the same thing about you, then it's the truth. I don't necessarily believe that or whatever, but it seems as if I have a hard time connecting with people around my age. I'm not expecting us to be besties when we first meet, but it just seemed like I'm always the more intentional person. And then the other people kind of like nonchalant with it. And that's just the energy that I pick up. And so, like, once I see that, people don't really like have the time or energy or want it bad enough, I kind of like back away because I don't want to be at a point where I'm trying to chase you to build connection and I'm the only one that's trying to like find stuff to do. I also notice what we're going out with this group is that if certain people don't go, then nobody wants to go anymore. And I find that kind of like weird or whatever. I kind of start to tell myself, well, maybe they're not that loyal to you right now. But I feel like I'm going about it wrong. And sometimes it affects me because I'll be like, you don't want to not have any friends. You want to figure this out. But it's like, you're also not about to force it. And so, yeah, I'm panicking. I'm like, who's going to come to my wedding and all this other mess or whatever. Like, when I be wanting to do stuff, it's not always fun doing it alone, even though I can do some stuff alone.
You know what is so funny? One time, many months ago, I called my mother snot nose crying because I didn't have
Mm.
a best friend at this time. And I was snot nose crying about who's gonna plan my baby shower. Girl, didn't have a man in sight, no baby in sight, no bridal shower in sight. I was snot nose crying. So first of all, I just want to take this moment to say, girl, I understand exactly what you mean. Like you said, like who's going to be your tribe and your community. I also can really relate to having an old soul and also being more of an intentional friend. I don't think there's anything wrong with having older friends, and I'm assuming that the friends that she connects with are older because the friends that are her age are not really kind of as intentional as she is, as she would say. So it sounds like she connects more with older people. I don't see anything wrong with that. And I think that when you find yourself having to like redirect friendships all the time, and so two things about that. One of the things is that I feel like she could be being too hard on the situation in general. But also I think it could be a telltale sign that that's just not the friend group that she knows is gonna pour out to her. And that just honestly just comes with wisdom. If you had enough experience, you live a little bit, you start tapping out of situations quicker. You're not gonna spend 5, 7 years trying to build a bridge with a friend that's just, it's not really kind of working out. And I just think that it sounds like she is looking more for connection. I don't think it's about the age of the people.
Mhm.
It's about more, like she said, their intentionality, finding places to go, not flaking on her if certain people aren't there. It seems like they're closer than she is and she's kind of the newcomer. And so I don't think it's really about age. I think it's more about connection. And I think it's absolutely okay to seek connections where people are pouring back to you. So Juanita and I have an age difference, and we're still very, very good friends. Very, very good friends. I was always an old soul, and a lot of my friends were older because number one, I started school early. Yeah, I can tell you the story about how my mom forged my birth certificate because I was having tantrums when my sister would go to school. My sister was 3 years older than me. So we would drop her off at school and then I was having tantrums. And so my mother forged my birth certificate so I could go to school. That's how bad it was. So I was always the youngest one. I didn't get my license when everybody else got their license. I wasn't 18 when everybody was 18. I wasn't 21 when everybody was 21. But I always had older friends. And I felt like that really matured me. And it also, I don't know. I just felt ahead, and even growing up, I was around my mom a lot, so I always felt like I had so I don't see nothing wrong with it, and it just sounds like you are not connecting with people that are pouring back.
Yeah.
What you think about her?
I mean, everything you said is spot on, right? Like, I have friends that are in their 60s and 70s
Yes,
that, like, we talk about dating,
yes,
right? And I have friends that are in their 20s that are younger than my nieces. And the same thing, like, you could talk about career, and sometimes different people serve different roles. I have friends that sit, on a Saturday and you talking while you folding clothes. I have friends that I go to Target with.
yeah,
I have friends that you get dressed up and go out. Like, you have your friends, and each network
yeah,
grows, right? And people serve different purposes. So that may not be the friend group to
right.
serve whatever need she's looking for. They may be a different type of group for
I
her. That
also
doesn't mean she
think,
can't be friends.
yeah, doesn't mean she can't be friends, and I also think that people always make it seem like friendships have to be organic and not something that you have to water and work on. And like for
Mm,
dating, they always say, "Oh, you're gonna find them when you're not looking." Girl, if you don't start getting intentional about dating and meeting people and being outside and being at the right places, right? It's the same thing with friendships. And I think it's almost like shameful. I met one of my best friends off Bumble BFF, and when I
mm,
recommend it to other people, people be like, you don't think it's weird to be online looking for a friend? No, no, I don't.
okay.
I think that we have to, whatever you want to grow in connection, I think you have to pour into it. And so, number one, girl, get on Bumble BFF. You're not gonna be lonely. You're not gonna be lonely when your wedding comes or when it's time to throw your baby shower or bridal shower. You'll definitely be able to cultivate relationships. I just think too that being intentional about it without shame, like it's almost it's almost like I have a friend in Atlanta and she's like, "Girl, I'm going out on a girls' night. Wish me luck. I'm trying to get some new friends." And it's almost like an embarrassing thing to do it. But I'm like, I'm all for being intentional about connecting. Like if I feel like I have a great friend group, but if I felt like I was low on friends, which I was when I first moved here for a while, probably 4 or 5 years in, I was in therapy about this. And
Mm-hmm.
my therapist was like, "Girl, this is like deja vu from moving to like when I was a therapist in LA." She said everybody there was lonely. And she was telling me to go to like, it was like meet up or group me or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
and different hobbies and stuff that I could do. And so I told like I really can relate to this girl because I think when I was in my like 20s, I didn't really have a lot of friends. And I also grew up kind of a loner. After middle school, I didn't really have a lot of high school friends and things like that. So you're gonna be fine. Trust me, girl. You're gonna make friends. And I think it's
Mm-hmm.
absolutely nothing wrong with having friends that are outside of your friend group. And it's also very smart to recognize up front that they're not being the kind of friend to you that you are to them,
Mm,
and also just lighten up a little bit. You don't want to make it seem like you're screening people for like a job interview type of thing. I think some of it should be lighthearted and organic, but you also want to make sure that it's actually could be a viable friendship. Because I don't do you do like people like, well, you did say that you got your target friends. You have I got one type of friend. One. I don't
yeah.
categorize my friends. They're like, oh, this my going out friend. I have one kind of friend. And most of my friends could be a bridesmaid in my wedding. I don't really do,
Oh, my target friends and whatever could be in weddings, right?
uh,
But I know what they like to do,
yeah,
right? Like,
yeah.
like, I have some friends that's like, I'm busy. I'm not going to sit on the phone with you,
Mm-hmm,
right?
mm-hmm.
And text me when you got time to talk, or we can
Mm-hmm.
schedule a time to talk. And I got friends that are like, why are you texting me? Just call.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I guess not those formal categories, but
Yeah.
I know what the capacity is.
Yes.
But I've lived in so many different cities, and every time you move, you know too, you
Yeah.
gotta make new friends
You
where
gotta
you
make new
are,
friends.
and
Yes.
so you have to adjust. Like people that have children are going to have a different capacity to be in how they show up in the friendship than people that don't have caregiving responsibilities.
Absolutely.
But like, as long as you're vulnerable to me,
Mm-hmm.
right, and not totally surface, and I think that's what she mentioned
Yeah.
too,
Yeah.
right? If you're like have some kind of barrier up, just be vulnerable, and to me that's a friend, right?
Yeah.
If you could be yourself, if I could cry to you,
Mm-hmm.
right? But I have friends that are totally like, we have to schedule everything, and I have friends that I'll be like, what you doing? I'm coming over.
Yeah.
And that's the target friend, right?
Right.
Because
Right.
they don't mind just strolling
Mm-hmm.
down the aisles. But like you, I did the meetup groups, and I didn't click with everybody,
Yeah. You never. A lot of them I did. I think I.
and I wasn't their cup of tea
Right.
either.
Yeah. I think I slid away with maybe that one best friend. The other ones never. They
Yeah.
didn't work out. I think that just opening that door, that like friendships are not organic, and I'm a strong proponent that whatever you want in life, you have to water it and be intentional about it. You not finding a man that you want to date in your city, move. You can't find a job, move. You ain't liking the social scene, move. Like move the pen, move your
Mm-hmm.
actual apartment. I think your environment really matters to your mental health. It matters to just your quality of life. Move. If it's going on for too long, look, try a new city. I love to pick up and move. I know I've been here for a long time, but you gonna be just fine, girl. Trust me. Trust me. Trust me. Okay. Dear Tisia number 3. He acts like a boyfriend, but says he's not ready. Hmm.
Hey, Tisia, I have this guy that I really like, and he really likes me. And action wise, it's all there. He's reassuring. He makes an effort to come see me, makes an effort to hang out. He makes an effort to make me feel comfortable. I remember once I asked him like why he was following a girl and he unfollowed her. He, like, action wise, he does everything perfect. And he even told me that he wants a relationship, but then he's like he can't, and he can't explain why he can't. And I'm wondering, like, what's the difference between when a guy actually is going through something and actually just needs a second to get his shit together, or like, am I missing something? Is he just not that into me? Because if I was just to go by the things he did, he would be super into me. Like, if I was just to go by his actions, just the way he treats me, the gifts, the attention, like he will drive out of the way to pick me up and take me somewhere if I need him. He's doing everything perfect. And then it'll randomly like just be like, okay, well, I'm not ready for a relationship though. And then I'm like, what does ready mean? And he doesn't know. And he's like, well, I'm not ready for the responsibilities. And I'll say, okay, what responsibilities do you think you're going to have in a relationship that you don't have now? Because I hold a man to the same standard the whole time. So you still have to be loyal to me now. You still have to be honest with me now. You still have to spend time with me now. And he does all of that stuff. I'm not going to act. This is like, I don't ask for more than that. Like, he's doing everything I asked for, even without me asking. Should I be reassuring him more? Or is this really him? Is this something that like you leave a guy over? Or is this just like, should I wait because he's so great? Should I wait but also is waiting? Like, it's just really confusing. And I know usually it's just we go by their actions, and what are their actions and what are they doing? But everything he's doing is perfect.
Tell you this, men never respect the women that wait. I don't care what nobody tells you, okay? The best thing that you could do is leave and let him figure it out if he wants to come or not. You're saying he acts like he's in a relationship. He does all the boyfriend things. He's doing everything but committing to you. And there's nothing else that he can show you. But the biggest wager is a commitment. This is him saying, I am choosing you. I want to be with you. I don't care what else he's doing. He could put balls on that tree. He could put lights on it. He could put ornaments. He could put garland. He could put all type of star at the top, baby. But if he is not willing to say, I want to be with you. I want to take you off the market. I want both of us to be exclusive. I want to figure out how our life is going to be together. He is, I know this sounds harsh. He is just not that into you. And some people can like you, but not like you enough. And that's just that. The commitment is the ultimate wager. He wants to be with you, and he also is willing to give up all that he has going on in order to be with you and only you. And so that could be a variety of things. It could be he has commitment issues. It could be he's just not that sure about you. Maybe he's not that confident in where he is in life. Again, whatever it is, not your dog, not your fight baby, not your cross to bear. At the end of the day, he does not want to commit. That's it. That's it. You can, he does all this stuff for me. He'll do things that I don't even ask. He do everything but commit. If he's not willing to commit, he's just not that into you. A man will do anything for the woman that he want to be with. Anything. They will risk their whole life. They will do anything for the woman that they want to be with. And so I hope you don't internalize it as like, what am I doing? Do I need to reassure? You don't need to do a thing. What you need to do is walk away until he's ready. I'm telling you, the wait is not rewarding. The wait is not rewarding. I'm telling you. Well, not that kind of wait. The weight of a man who's talking about something he's not sure about you, okay? That he's never going to commit. I'm telling you, you will get so much further if you walked away and had a hard stop baseline for this man to say, just tell him like, okay, sure, I understand that you're not ready for that. However, I am looking to date intentionally, and it doesn't seem like we're quite in alignment right now. Happy to revisit this once you find yourself to be sure. And you walk away and it's a hard full stop. Not ping-ponging back and forth, not still talking out on the phone. He got to feel it in his chest, the complete absence of you until he's ready to make up his mind. Waiting for him and playing I don't want a relationship while he's doing all those things is really just like making him desensitized to actually having an incentive to do more. He kicking it. He like, oh, cool, we could do all of this and I don't have to, I'm not actually fully committed. If you find out that I gave my number to somebody else, you can't say nothing. See, that's the one thing about me. Yeah, I don't like to be in jail. That's like prison to me. It's like these people are occupying all your emotional time and they're occupying a space in your heart. But if they were to go give their number to somebody else, you couldn't say nothing because y'all not in it. Baby, that sounds like a scam. A scam to me could have never be me. I'll be on day 3. Are we together? Are we together or are we not? I don't play friend for too long. And I think that this has just went on for too long. You should have really, and when you demand that type of presence, it's not loud. It's not an ultimatum. It's not you better and my standards are, and if you not going to do this, I'm gone. You silently let him know that this is your boundary and that this is what you want. And it's okay that if that's not what he wants, but it's not going to work for you. And you have a cold, hard stop. Now join my secret girls chat if you want to find out how to, okay, baby. Uno reverse that. But yeah, I feel like women that wait, they never get the man.
No,
they want to chase you.
There's a saying in Spanish, it translates to the girlfriend of the student is never the wife of the professional. Right?
Hold on, say that again.
The girlfriend of the student is never the wife of the professional. Right? And the student is the one that's sitting there waiting for you to get to the point where you are all of the things that you promised to be. And then once you get there, they getting somebody else, right? So that's essentially what you just said. Everything you said is spot on. Like she said something like, should I wait? No.
The girlfriend of
should
the
I leave?
student
Yes.
is never the wife of the professional. What I tell y'all, stop playing casual Kathy, desperate Danielle, patient Pamela, empathetic Elizabeth, okay? You got to be difficult Danielle. I'm telling you, anything that's not aligning with what you want, you starve out that behavior. And I found this out through this young girl. I think I told this her before. This young girl, she's like in her 20s and she's like a millionaire. And she talks about how when she went to a car dealership, and she wanted to basically like negotiate the price on like, I'm talking about expensive cars, Rolls Royces and stuff like that. She would be like, anytime that they would pitch an offer, and then she didn't, if it was like too high or whatever, she would literally ignore the person, and whoever broke the silence first is basically the loser. But she always never said anything, and it's basically like starve out the behavior that you are not in alignment with. Like she literally would ignore anything that wasn't what she was willing to accept. And she was like, that's the power of bargaining and negotiation. Anytime a man is doing something that you do not like, you starve out that behavior. You don't feed it by talking about I find it funny how, and what we need to talk about this and sending these eulogies. You starve out the behavior. You literally don't even entertain it at all. And I'm telling you, girl, if you want that man to even potentially swing your way, you got to show him through your behavior that you have better options, that you're going to go where the love is and where somebody is willing to make a commitment, and that you're not afraid to walk away from it. And I'm telling you, hard stop. Not the moment that you break code, they're gonna sniff you out. Men are like German shepherds, okay? TSA. They know, they can sniff you through the suitcase. They know exactly if you are vulnerable enough and you don't really mean what you say. You gotta stand on the hard stop. So don't do it till you're ready. Muster up all your strength, okay? And don't do it till you're ready. But you gotta walk out of that, and you gotta be a firm boundary. When that man hits you up, you're gonna be like, "Are you ready for a relationship?" Okay, goodbye. That's it.
That's good advice.
Period. That was the student of the
girlfriend.
The girlfriend of the student is never the wife of the professor, baby. I'm gonna put that into Situationship, okay? I gotta put that down. Okay, anyways, this is my favorite segment, our Bitch You Smell Good segment. And Juanita, ironically, is one of my fragrance girlies. We love perfume. One time we have this like annual brunch where basically we both late on each other's birthdays. And we come together. Her birthday is in September, mine is in April. We basically come into this middle month and we do like our birthday brunch. And one time we bought each other the same perfume. We love fragrances. So this is going to be good. I know you know this one. Alien Mugler. So Mugler. Pronunciation police will be blocked. Okay. So this is Alien by Mugler. I'm going to tell you, this is such a classic. I actually have the gold one as well. I think it's Goddess. I think it's called Goddess. Don't let me get the line. Classic. I tell you that this is such a beautiful blend, and I feel like what has smelled like Alien? Nothing. You know this smell if you smell it. And also, too, look, this is one of my smaller bottles, but baby, it ain't barely nothing in there. Okay. This smell, oh my gosh, classic.
Let's see.
Nothing smells like this. Can't be duped. Tell me that ain't good. You know,
so good.
Also, we have difference in you don't like gardenia. You love gardenia. I don't like gardenia.
I love gardenia.
We have different things that we don't, but
your Tom Ford Black Orchid has grown on me. I actually bought a bottle and kept it.
I convinced the people. This is just too good.
This is good.
I get compliments all the time when I wear this. Okay, the notes are jasmine sandback. The heart is cashmere wood, and the base is white amber. Sounds very simple, but I think it's very intricate. I think the notes wear down into this, a very great fall winter scent as well. I feel like the notes dry down to a warm, sexy, this is good, y'all. Anyways,
I typically don't like cashmere, but however they mixed it, it smells.
The blend is gorgeous. I'm telling you, it cannot be duped. And there's only a few fragrances out here that I feel like cannot be duped. And Time for a Black Orchid, ironically, is one of them. I said it on one of the last episodes. So go get it, buy it. If you can get it at Macy's, you can get it at Nordstrom, you can get it, hell, you can probably get it at Marshall's or TJ Maxx. It is a old school classic, never going out of style, and it's still in my collection. And I have a backup bottle, period. Okay, we're on to our red flag reports. A 34-year-old woman went viral after writing to the Telegraph's Moral Money column demanding financial compensation from her ex-boyfriend of 10 years. Her claim, he stole her childbearing years and now owes her IVF or egg freezing money since he walked away from the relationship when she was ready for marriage and kids, and he wasn't. She said, "Here I am at 34, eggs twitching, unexpectedly single, and emotionally devastated. He tells me at 38 he still has a decade to enjoy life, but it's now my priority and he's off." She also said that she sacrificed parts of her career to support his ambitions based on their mutual understanding that he'd be the primary earner once they had children. But after his abrupt exit, she believes he owes her something for the broken promises and lost time. The advice columnist responded sympathetically but made it clear there is no legal grounds to demand compensation, only a personal journey back to resilience. Still, the story blew up online with social media dragging her for lacking accountability, asking why she waited 10 years for a man who showed no movement toward commitment. Huh. If you stay in a relationship for a decade, hoping someone will change and they don't, is the red flag them or your own decision to wait that long? Look, the columnist was correct, and the people that trolled you on the internet were correct as well. Ain't no way.
Damn,
How you want
Mariah.
to sue somebody for a bad decision on your part? A terrible decision on your part. 10 years, 10 years. And this is similarly to what we were saying. I'm telling y'all, ladies, these men do not want the woman that gave up everything for them. I'm telling you, there's so much desire and sexual appeal for the girl who got her own thing going on. When I got on that internet and I told y'all, don't ever give somebody 100%, keep 10% for yourself. Everybody was like, I want to love my will. Can I pay 90% of the bills? Everybody was up in uproar. And this is a prime example of somebody giving 100% to somebody and his ass left. And now she ain't got nothing. Now she worried about her ovaries. Now she worried about her career. That's on you. That's on you. That man don't owe you a thing, and it's unfortunate. But I hope this is a learning lesson. Like that lady said, only a personal journey back to resilience, baby. It's a hard lesson. It's a hard lesson. I'm gonna tell you this. Everybody will be suing. I got a couple. I got a couple that stole about 22 to 28. Okay. A couple men that I ain't had no business being with that literally stole 22 to about 28. Okay. Everybody will be suing people. You can't sue people for not wanting to be with you. Child, what you think?
Well, didn't Mariah sue and win the guy for wasting her time when she got engaged? I think she sued some guy that got boats in Australia or something. No, not familiar.
I thought, well, no, that was Janet Jackson that had some.
No.
Oh no, she didn't.
Yeah, anyway, I
I
feel
said she
like
had his first son or something. Okay, that she didn't sue him. That was their arrangement.
yeah, but Mariah sued some dude she was engaged to, and she won for wasting her time.
Huh?
Yeah, so she says no legal precedent, but it is. But that said, like, haven't we wasted some dude's time too? I mean, I dated and wasn't ready to be married and had no thoughts of marriage.
Yeah.
Didn't we waste their time?
Also, too, like y'all, I believe in separation of church and state. Y'all always trying to put some legal stuff on. Like, let's keep legal stuff out of the heart business. And I mean, yes, if you have marriage and divorce, and there are things that need to be legally defined and things like that. But please don't put legal stuff into the love business because that's just a slippery slope.
Why not freeze your eggs at year 5?
He
Right?
lost her mind. She was too lost in the sauce. And I think that like afterwards, that's when that shock hits you, when it's all gone down a drain. And it's really just hindsight is 2020. So many women wake up and you ever looked and you're like, that man was ugly. He didn't have no money. It wasn't that good with him. He, didn't take me anywhere. And you look back and I think that she regretting all her decisions.
Yeah, it's unfortunate and it happens more often than not. I have friends, like you said, I'm older than you, and they reach menopause and they're childless, spent
Mhm.
more than 10 years with a dude.
Hmm.
He went on and had a baby, you know, and they have to mourn the fact that they're not going to have biological children.
Man, I've seen it with my own two eyes. I've seen that. I've seen that happen.
Hmm.
You spending time with these men. And also, I'm telling y'all, and this is just a side note, but try your best to be with a man who out the gate wants them kids. I have seen, you ever talk to a man or know someone who's dealing with a man who was if in and out about them kids? In and out about them kids. Y'all, I'm telling you, it's a terrible idea. If you meet that man and he's on some, if I do have a kid, cool. If I don't, cool. Telling you, it's never a good idea. Never a good idea. I know women that have stayed with a man. They first he started off he didn't want no kids. Then he said, if I do have a kid, it'll be with you. Then they'll go back off of I don't really want any kids. Then they'll go. It is a terrible cycle. So 10 years, you never got them kids. I'm not sure what he was up to, but even she gave up parts of her career. It's a bad move. It's a bad move. Let the man sacrifice. The bad move. I'm telling you, like you just gave, you didn't keep your 10%. You gave it all out, threw the baby out with the bath water.
That's hard.
That's hard. And there is a lot of technology. There is hope, but I also think that not just like we talked about it, your body and the universe can reject people.
Yeah. You with your expertise, all of your callers, they all afraid to walk away. Right? All the ones you listen to today, this red flag, right? She spent 10 years, she didn't walk away. What's up with that? Like,
I feel like we are in a time where this is my opinion. Number one, the ratios are just so vast. You talking about 10, 15 women to one man. So I think that just baseline, the numbers are so skewed and we just don't have the same amount of options. The second thing is that I think that we get put into the situation with the guy and you want it to work out so badly. A lot of us have not done the healing. A lot of us are not comfortable with where we are. A lot of us do not really have the confidence to really stand on our own 2 feet. And I call it being kidnappable. All it takes is a man to come around in a white van and be like, what you doing, beautiful? Good morning, beautiful. Grand rising queen. Hey, you want to go out to eat? And next thing you know, you in the van kidnapped. All it takes is somebody be like, hey, I got a puppy. You want to come see the puppy? I got a lollipop. And you in the van kidnapped. It don't take much for them to get. I think our threshold is just so low. We beat down, we tired, we overworked. We've been looking for love for all these years. We've been through abusive relationships, bad breakups, grief. All this Black women are just tired. So when you meet that person, you just hoping that they're the one. And I think it's becoming very hard to walk away because now you gotta go back into that dating pool. And that's why I say you gotta choose right the first time around. You could say what you want, baby. You could say, oh, you 37, you ain't got no kids. I bet you my marriage work out. I bet you.
period.
Lord, don't play with me, okay? Look, no, this ain't the time to be funny. This ain't the time to have a sense of humor, okay? Look, the longer you wait, the wiser you get, the better you develop yourself, the better chance that you have that your actual partnership is going to work out. So, girl, you probably meet a man tomorrow, be engaged in 6 months, pregnant within the year. Gotta give you double for your trouble. Trust me. Trust me. Huh. Anyways, that was good. Yes. Bye, y'all.